I know that's messed up. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to accept her apology. But the other part remembered every day she left me out, every time she looked the other way. I'm not asking you to forgive me, Karen said, her voice barely holding together. I just wanted to be honest, and to warn you. Ella's worse than you think. I felt my stomach tighten. What do you mean? Karen hesitated, then took a breath. After everyone thought you were dead, she came to my house. She told me if I ever told anyone the truth, she'd make sure I joined you. Said she'd make it look like I took my own life out of guilt. I stared at her, chilled to the bone. Did you tell the police? I tried, she said. They brushed me off. Thought I was trying to avoid punishment. Before I could respond, we heard voices outside. When we stepped into the hallway, several police officers were talking with the principal. Lisa rushed over to me. They can't find her, she said. She's not anywhere in the building. What about her house? I asked. The officers are heading there now, the principal told us. But for now, OP, I think you should go home. Just to be safe. Lisa and I left school together, driving in silence. Every time we stopped at an intersection, I caught myself looking around, expecting to see Sarah lurking nearby. What now? I asked, barely above a whisper. The police are handling it, Lisa said. They're taking it seriously. But the second we pulled into our driveway, I knew something was wrong. The front door was cracked open. Stay in the car, Lisa said sharply, already pulling out her phone. I locked the doors and watched as she crept toward the house, peered inside, and immediately stepped back. She's been here, Lisa said when she climbed back in. Your room's wrecked. We waited in the car until the police arrived. They searched the house before letting us in. My bedroom looked like a storm had blown through it. Clothes everywhere, mattress slashed wide open, shattered mirror glass scattered on the floor. And on the wall, smeared in what looked like lipstick, were 3 words. You chose this. Officers took photos, filed another report, and told us they'd boost patrols around the house. But until Sarah was caught, they said we'd be safer staying somewhere else. Where can we go? I asked Lisa after they left. She knows about Mark's place, Lisa muttered, thinking hard. But I've got a backup plan. My friend Mark's studying abroad. Her apartment's sitting empty, and I still have her spare key. She doesn't know about that place? Nope. Ella's never even heard of her. We quickly packed bags with the essentials and left a note for our parents, explaining what happened. Driving toward Mark's place, something shifted in me. For the first time in weeks, I felt my chest loosen. The constant pressure, the fear, it was still there, but quieter. I looked out the window, watching the sun dip behind the city skyline. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I let myself breathe. The apartment wasn't fancy, but it felt safe, small, warm, tucked inside a building with keycard access and a front desk that didn't mess around. Lisa and I ordered takeout and tried to act normal, even though every creak in the wall had me jumping out of my skin. Do you think they'll catch her? I asked as I poked at my food, appetite long gone. They will, Lisa said firmly. She can't stay hidden forever. That night, I drifted in and out of sleep, haunted by dreams of Sarah standing next to my bed, just watching. I'd wake up gasping, sure I heard someone breathing in the room with me. But there was nothing there, just shadows and fear. In the morning, Lisa got a call from the police. No updates. Sarah hadn't returned home. Her parents were apparently cooperating, but seemed blindsided by the whole thing. According to them, she'd always been the perfect kid. No trouble. No signs of this side of her. Days crawled by. No sightings, no messages. I went back to school under near constant supervision, either Lisa shadowed me or a teacher had been assigned to keep an eye out. The other students barely looked at me. Some whispered. Others avoided me like I might vanish again. The truth about Sarah was out now, and all that sympathy she'd once soaked up had curdled into unease. fear, disgust. Some kids whispered that she was obsessed. Others just said she was crazy. Either way, the mood had shifted. No one was defending her anymore. Karen kept her distance. She'd offer a brief nod or a small smile in the hallway, but she didn't try to talk to me. I wasn't ready for that, not yet. The rage had simmered down, but I hadn't forgotten. Then, a week after Sarah vanished, the school office called me down. They'd received a package for me, no return address, but the handwriting on it made my stomach drop. I recognized it instantly. We had it scanned, the secretary told me, trying to smile. It's just papers. Nothing dangerous. My fingers trembled as I peeled it open. Inside was my diary. The real one. Not the copy. Not the one she planted. This was mine, pages bent just how I left them. And tucked inside was a note. I'm not done with you yet. This was only the beginning. See you soon, bestie. E. I dropped it like it was burning me. The secretary must have noticed something was wrong because she called the police while I shakily dialed Lisa. My voice cracked as I told her what had happened. Later, detectives traced the package to a post office 2 towns away. Surveillance footage showed a middle-aged man mailing it. Sarah wasn't anywhere in sight, she'd clearly paid someone to do it for her. That night, back at Mark's apartment, we locked every window and double-checked every door. Again. We were debating whether to move locations again when my phone buzzed with a text. Look outside your window. My heart practically stopped. I turned the screen toward Lisa without a word. She immediately killed the lights and tiptoed to the window, cracking the blinds just enough to peek out. There's someone in a car across the street, she whispered. But I can't see their face. We called the police. They showed up fast. By the time they checked the vehicle, it was empty, engine still warm. No one in sight. Just a note slipped under the windshield wiper. Nice try. She found us, I whispered, barely able to breathe. How? How does she keep finding us? One of the officers stepped closer, his hand on his holster. We need to move. Pack what you can, we'll escort you somewhere safer. I looked at Lisa as we scrambled to throw our things together. She always finds us, I said. What if there's nowhere left to go? Lisa didn't answer right away. Her eyes were scanning the room. Then she yanked my phone out of my hands and ripped the case off. A tiny black disc fell out, barely bigger than a button. Tracker, she said. She's been using these. My blood ran cold. She's been listening? No. Just tracking. But that's bad enough. Lisa crushed the disc beneath her shoe and started going through the rest of our stuff. Another one was hidden in her laptop bag. A third was sewn into the lining of my favorite hoodie. The officer let out a low whistle. This isn't just stalking, he said. This is next level. You both need protective custody. That night, we were placed in a motel under police watch. Our parents were finally brought in. Seeing the trackers, physical proof of what we'd been saying, shattered any remaining denial they'd been clinging to. Mom kept pulling me into tight hugs, crying silently. Dad paced the room, red-faced, shouting into his phone as he laid into the school board. I didn't sleep. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, heart racing at every noise outside. Around 3 a.m., my phone lit up again. Found you again. Sweet dreams. I showed the officer stationed outside. Within minutes, the building was being swept room by room. Nothing. No Ella. No suspicious vehicles. Just the chilling certainty that somehow, she was nearby. The next morning, a detective named Stephen arrived. She was sharp, no nonsense, with steel gray hair cropped short and a stare that didn't blink. We need to learn her patterns, she said, setting up a recording device. The better we understand your history with Ella, the better chance we have of staying ahead of her. I spent the next few hours giving her everything, every memory, every red flag I'd brushed off, every conversation I could remember. As I talked, the story unfolded in ways I hadn't pieced together until now. She didn't just become obsessed, Stephen said. She isolated you, first from your friends, then your sister. She created the chaos so she could be your lifeline. She made herself the solution, another detective added. That's classic manipulation, dangerous and calculated. That afternoon, the police got a break. A gas station clerk had seen Sarah early that morning. Her hair was black now, and she'd been wearing glasses, but they were sure it was her. Security footage confirmed it. She's slipping, Stephen said. She's getting desperate. We're getting close. Then she looked at me. In the meantime, we're moving you again, this time to a secure safe house. No electronics. No phones. No internet. She's using every tool she can to track you. I didn't argue. Whatever it took, I just wanted this to end. The safe house turned out to be a modest little cabin tucked deep in the woods, about an hour outside town. Quiet. Isolated. Guarded by 2 officers around the clock. Only a handful of people even knew we were there. For the first time in what felt like forever, I actually let myself exhale. No pings on my phone. No sightings. No notes. Just silence. 3 whole days passed like that. And then day 4 came. I shot up in bed to the smell of smoke, heavy, thick, suffocating. It poured in from under my door like fog. I barely had time to process before I heard voices yelling. One of the officers was shouting into his radio, the other banging on doors. Then Lisa burst in. "Fire," she cried. "Get up. We have to go, now." We bolted outside in our pajamas, coughing, eyes burning. One side of the cabin was already a wall of flame, lighting up the night in a hellish glow. The officers had their guns drawn, scanning the tree line around us. "Stay behind us," one of them barked, leading us toward the patrol car. We were halfway there when I heard it, a single twig snapping somewhere off to the right. My head snapped in that direction. And for a split second, I saw her. Ella. She was standing between 2 pine trees, maybe 20 feet away, just watching. Her hair was darker now, pulled back tight. Her eyes locked with mine, and she smiled, slow, eerie. Then she slipped away like a shadow. "There!" I shouted, pointing. But she was already gone. The officers called it in, but by the time backup combed through the woods, she had vanished again, no footprints, no scent trail, nothing. Later, the fire department confirmed what we already suspected. Someone had broken a kitchen window and thrown in a pair of homemade incendiary devices. No fingerprints. No real evidence. Just a message, she knew where we were. "This is beyond obsession now," Stephen said when she arrived at the scene. "She's escalating. This isn't just stalking anymore, this is attempted arson. Attempted murder." That night, they moved us again, this time to a secure floor of the county courthouse, protected by reinforced doors and a full sweep of security. Stephen gathered us all in the small, sterile room and sat us down. "We need to take a different approach," she said. "She's too resourceful, too determined. She won't stop until she gets what she wants." "And what is it?" my dad demanded, his face pale and drawn. "What could she possibly want with my daughter?" Stephen looked directly at me. "She wants total control. Isolation. To be the only voice in your life. That's what she was trying to build. And now that she can't?" I asked quietly, already knowing the answer. "She'd rather destroy you than lose you," Stephen said, her tone like steel. "We can't live like this," Lisa added. "We can't just keep running." Stephen nodded. "That's why we're going to set the trap. But it'll be on our terms." The plan was bold, risky, and terrifying. We'd let it slip, on purpose, that I was returning to school, alone, without police protection. In reality, the school would be swarming with undercover officers. I'd be wired. If Sarah showed up and approached me, all we had to do was keep her talking. And hope she incriminated herself before anything went sideways. My parents hated the idea. But hiding clearly wasn't working. Eventually, they AG Steven. And I did too. I wanted my life back. 2 days later, I walked through the front doors of school for the first time in almost 2 weeks. The second I stepped in, all eyes were on me. Students stared, whispered, gawked. The wire pressed tight against my chest, taped under my shirt. Steven had assured me it was undetectable. Just be normal, she had said. Go to class. Eat lunch. If Sarah shows up, stay calm. Get her talking. Don't try to confront her. We'll handle the rest. The morning dragged by. Every footstep in the hallway made my shoulders tense. Every door creak set my heart racing. By lunch, I was a tightly wound mess, picking at my food, scanning the room like a paranoid security camera. Then Karen appeared. She slid into the seat across from me without waiting for an invitation. Hey, she said softly. Can I sit here? I nodded. Couldn't get the words out. I heard you were back, she said, leaning forward. Are you okay? Not really, I said honestly. But I'm trying. She nodded, her expression open, if a little sad. I know it probably doesn't mean much, but I really am sorry. For everything. I searched her face for any sign of manipulation. All I saw was regret. I believe you, I said. I'm not ready to be friends again, but I don't hate you anymore. Karen offered a faint smile. That's more than I deserve. And for the first time in what felt like months, I started to relax. Maybe this was what healing looked like, slow, awkward, uncomfortable. After lunch, I headed to my locker. The hallway was almost empty, everyone already in class. I turned the dial on the lock and felt the hairs on my arms stand on end. Something was off. I turned, expecting to see one of the officers nearby. Instead, it was her. Sarah stood at the far end of the hallway, her hair now jet black, pulled tight into a ponytail. She looked thinner, sunken cheeks, dark circles under her eyes. Hello, bestie, she said softly. Miss me? My heart pounded against the wire. Where the hell were the cops? What do you want, Ella? I asked, trying to steady my voice. She stepped forward, her movements slow, like she was savoring the moment. I want what I've always wanted, she said. You. Me. Together. No one else. You stole from me, I said. You broke into my house. You set fire to a building while I was asleep. That's not friendship. She rolled her eyes. I saved you. Karen was poisoning everyone against you. I had to do something. So you humiliated me? Made my worst thoughts public? That's not saving. That's control. It worked, didn't it? She snapped. Everyone turned on Karen. Everyone felt sorry for you. I made you important. You made me pitiful, I said. And then you tried to burn me alive. Her face twitched like I'd slapped her. I wasn't trying to hurt you, she insisted. I just needed to get you away from the cops. We need to be alone so I can explain. She stepped closer. Please, OP. No more games. Let's go somewhere quiet. Just us. My back hit the locker hard, and I stayed there, frozen, pulse pounding in my ears. I scanned the hallway again, desperate for a glimpse of an officer, anyone. Where the hell were they? Was the wire not working? Had something gone wrong with the plan? It's too late for explanations, I said, trying to buy time, trying to breathe. The police know everything. They're already looking for you. Sarah laughed, this low, empty sound that echoed off the lockers like something dead trying to come back to life. They've been looking for 2 weeks, she said, mocking. They'll never find me unless I want them to. Then she reached into her jacket pocket. My stomach flipped. She pulled out a switchblade, small, worn, and deadly. My blood turned to ice. Now, she said, flicking the blade open with a sharp click, we're walking out of here. Just you and me. Ella, I tried, my throat tight. Please don't do this. I'm done asking nicely, she snapped. You had your chance to choose me. But now? I'm choosing for you. She took a step closer. Then, thank God, a classroom door creaked open down the hallway. Karen stepped out, mid-sentence with someone behind her. She froze when she saw us. OP, she called, uncertain, her voice slicing through the moment like a lifeline. Sarah spun on her heel, knife flashing in the light. You, she hissed, her voice venomous. This is all your fault. That was my shot. I surged forward and slammed both palms into Ella's chest. She stumbled backward, off balance, and the blade slipped from her hand, clattering to the floor. Run! I shouted. Karen, go get help. Karen didn't hesitate. She took off down the hallway, her shoes slapping the tile. Sarah dove for the knife, but I kicked it away with everything I had. It skidded under the lockers, out of reach. Sarah let out a scream of pure frustration. Her face twisted, her eyes wild. You're picking her? After everything she did to you? This isn't about Karen, I said, heart pounding, breath heaving. This is about you, your obsession. Your lies. Your violence. She lunged, hands clawed like she meant to tear me apart. I ducked, but she grabbed my arm, her nails dug into my skin like talons. We slammed into the lockers, metal ringing out with a deafening crash. I did everything for you, she shrieked, her face inches from mine, spit flying. I ruined Karen for you. I made the whole school pity you. I even burned that stupid diary so no one would ever read those pages again. I froze. You, what? I gasped. Her eyes flickered, realization hitting her too late. I didn't mean. That's when the hallway exploded with movement. Officers poured in from both ends, weapons drawn, voices booming. Police! Don't move. Ella's grip fell away as she staggered back, hands up, panic flashing across her face. But her eyes stayed locked on mine, something twisted, something broken swimming behind them. You set me up, she whispered, like it physically hurt her. No, I said, my voice steady now. You set yourself up. One of the officers grabbed her, spinning her around and cuffing her hands behind her back. As they led her away, she twisted her head over her shoulder. This isn't over, OP, she spat. I'll always find you. Always. And just like that, she was gone. The hallway fell quiet. I leaned against the lockers, legs weak, the wire under my shirt soaked in sweat. It was over. Or at least, it had started to be.